Johnny Depp was driving alone that evening. The sky had already turned a deep, heavy blue, the kind that swallows the last traces of daylight. The highway stretched empty ahead of him, broken only by the occasional weak streetlight that flickered as if it was tired of staying awake. His black car moved smoothly, the engine a low, steady hum. The fuel light had been glowing for the last 10 minutes. He needed petrol. A small petrol pump appeared on the right side of the road. It looked forgotten. 2 old pumps under a cracked plastic roof, a tiny glass office with a flickering tube light, and a rusted sign that swung slowly in the cold wind. Johnny slowed the car and turned in. He parked beside the first pump and stepped out. The air smelled of petrol and damp dust. He was wearing a plain black jacket, dark jeans, and a cap pulled low. Nothing about him screamed celebrity. He walked up to the attendant, a thin middle-aged man in a faded uniform, and said quietly, "Full tank, please." The attendant nodded and inserted the nozzle. That was when Johnny noticed the 4 men. They were standing near the side wall of the station, half in shadow. 3 of them leaned against the wall while the 4th paced slowly, cigarette glowing between his fingers. Their clothes were rough, dark hoodies, torn jeans, heavy boots. The tallest one had a thin scar running from his eyebrow down toward his cheek. He was the first to notice Johnny. He nudged the man next to him with his elbow and spoke just loud enough for the sound to carry. "Look at this one. Fancy black car, but the man looks like he crawled out of a ditch." The others turned. Their eyes moved over Johnny from head to toe, measuring him. The second man, shorter and thicker, grinned. Maybe he's one of those washed-up types. Used to have money, now just filling petrol like everyone else. Johnny heard every word. He kept his back mostly turned, watching the numbers on the pump climb. 10 liters, 15, 20. His hands stayed in his jacket pockets. His face stayed calm. The third man, younger, restless, took a step closer and raised his voice. "Hey, mister, nice car. Must be rented, right? People like you don't own things like that." A short laugh followed from the group. Johnny still did not turn fully. He only shifted his weight slightly and kept his eyes on the pump. The attendant glanced nervously between Johnny and the 4 men, but said nothing. The tall one with the scar pushed off the wall and walked a few steps closer. His boots scraped against the concrete. "What's wrong? Too high class to answer? Or maybe you're just scared?" Johnny finally turned his head a little. His voice came out low and even. "I don't want any trouble." The tall man smiled, showing yellow teeth. "Trouble already found you, friend." The younger one moved first. He walked straight up to the driver's side of the car and tapped the window hard with his knuckles. Once, twice, 3 times, loud enough to echo under the roof. "Open it. Let's see what you got inside." Johnny did not move toward the car. He stayed where he was, near the pump. The thick-set man joined the younger one. Together, they tried the door handle. It was locked. The thick one cursed under his breath and yanked harder. The metal clicked uselessly. Meanwhile, the tall one stepped directly in front of Johnny, close enough that Johnny could smell smoke and cheap alcohol on his breath. The 4th man moved behind Johnny, cutting off the path toward the small office. "Wallet, phone, keys. Now," the tall one said. His voice had dropped lower, harder. Johnny's eyes moved slowly from the tall man's face to the 2 at the car, then to the one standing behind him. He still did not raise his voice. "You should stop." They laughed short, sharp, mocking laughs. The younger one suddenly lunged forward and grabbed Johnny's right arm, fingers digging into the jacket sleeve. He pulled hard, trying to drag Johnny toward the car. Johnny's body barely shifted. His feet stayed planted. The younger man pulled again, harder this time, using both hands. But Johnny remained solid, like someone who decided long ago that he would not be moved easily. "I said now," the tall one barked, stepping even closer. His chest almost touched Johnny's. At that moment, the pump clicked off. The tank was full. The attendant called out weakly, "Sir, it's done," but no one listened. The thick-set man left the car door and came around to Johnny's left side. Now 3 of them stood in a loose half-circle, while the 4 stayed behind. The tall one reached out and shoved Johnny's shoulder. "Last chance. Empty your pockets." Johnny's breathing stayed steady. He looked at the tall man for a long second, then slowly reached into his jacket with his free hand. The four men tensed instantly. The younger one tightened his grip on Johnny's arm. The tall one's hand hovered near his own waist, ready. But Johnny did not pull out a weapon. He pulled out his phone. He unlocked it with his thumb, selected a number, and pressed call. He put the phone on speaker and held it at chest level, so the sound was clear. 2 rings. A deep, controlled voice answered. "Johnny? Everything all right?" The 4 men froze. The name hit them like cold water. Johnny spoke clearly, without raising his voice. "I'm at the petrol pump on the old highway road. 4 men are trying to rob me. They think I'm alone." There was a short pause on the other end. Then the voice became ice. "Stay exactly where you are. Don't move. We're already tracking your location. 3 cars are 6 minutes away." Johnny ended the call and slipped the phone back into his pocket. He looked at the tall man again. The younger one who'd been holding Johnny's arm suddenly let go, as if the sleeve had burned him. He stepped back 2 full paces. The thick-set man's eyes widened. He whispered, almost to himself, "Wait, this is Johnny Depp." The name spread through the group like a crack in glass. The 4th man behind Johnny shifted nervously. The tall one tried to hold his ground, but his confidence had already started leaking out of him. "You're bluffing," he said, but the words came out thinner than before. Johnny took 1 slow step forward. Not fast, not aggressive, just 1 step that closed the remaining distance between them. "Am I?" The tall man's throat moved as he swallowed. Behind him, the sound of distant engines was already beginning to rise. Low at first, then clearer. One of the men muttered, "Let's go, just leave it." The tall one still tried to save face. His voice cracked slightly. "You think you're better than us because your name is in the newspapers?" Johnny shook his head once, slowly. "I don't think I'm better than anyone. I just know that people who try to bring others down usually end up falling themselves." The engine sounds grew louder. Headlights appeared far down the highway. 3 pairs of them, moving fast. That was the final break. The younger man turned first and ran toward the dark side of the station. The thick-set one followed immediately. The 4th man cursed and sprinted after them. The tall one stayed half a second longer, staring at Johnny with a mixture of anger and sudden fear. Then he too spun around and ran into the night. Their footsteps faded quickly into the darkness beyond the station lights. Johnny stood still for a moment, listening. Then he turned to the attendant, who was frozen near the pump with wide eyes. "It's fine," Johnny said quietly. "You did nothing wrong." 3 black cars pulled into the station less than a minute later, tires crunching on the gravel. Several men stepped out quickly. One of them, broad-shouldered and sharp-eyed, walked straight to Johnny. "You okay?" "Yes," Johnny answered. "They're gone. No need to chase them." The man frowned slightly. "You sure?" Johnny looked once more toward the dark stretch of road where the 4 figures had disappeared. They already learned what they needed to learn tonight. He paid the attendant in cash, thanked him, and got back into the car. As the engine started, he glanced at the empty concrete where the man had stood minutes earlier. The world had tried many times to push him down, with words, with stories, with hate. Some blows had landed, some had left marks, but none had ever managed to make him fall completely. Tonight was no different. He drove out of the station and back onto the open highway. The tank was full. The road stretched quiet and dark ahead of him. And somewhere behind, for men were still running, realizing too late that the quiet man at the petrol pump had never been weak at all.